just can't stop thinking about you. I know I should let this go. You be sitting inside of my mind. I can't let it take me. I just gotta find my peace. I just wanna truly be free.
Hey, what I say? Look, Proverbs 31, she turned the house into a home. The head not to tell, she prayed for me when I'm gone. Cause you know, we gotta tap in with the Prince of Peace. Pray for it, wait for it, he gave me what I need. Now tell me what you pray for. So I can call Jehovah up so I can bring it to you. You say you want a man who understand, huh? Well, I don't think that you get it, do you? One phone call, now we on PCH. Going out to dinner, that don't start without the grace. Might buy some real estate so I can put you in your place. I see you the one that I need.
I just can't stop thinking about you. I know I should let this go. You be sitting inside of my mind. I can't let it take me. I just gotta find my peace. I just wanna truly be free.
Hey, what I say? Look, Proverbs 31, she turned the house into a home. The head not to tell, she prayed for me when I'm gone. Cause you know, we gotta tap in with the
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. Welcome and welcome back to the King Status Podcast. With me, your host, Mr. Mortar King, along with Jay Duce.
Along with Mr. Prolific, aka Jay Duce.
If
I
do say so.
myself. What's
Welcome,
going on? What's going
welcome.
on?
And thank y'all for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. What's up, my boy? What's happening?
Ain't shit, brother. Just chilling, man. You know,
Looking
busy-
nice and cozy.
busy work always. Hey, cozy is my vibe, man. Like for real. I don't be trying not to be like
Right.
But no, I'm just chilling. I had a busy fucking weekend. No, how was yours?
Pretty good. More eventful. You know, I'm trying to get back outside and start showing my face a little more, engage a little. You know, you gotta show your face a little. Gotta get out there for anybody, because this is what I'm learning right now too as we speak. Is some things aren't just going to happen when you just confined to your household. Now things can happen, but you got to get outside and talk to people, shake hands, kiss babies, all that. What's up, my boy?
Yeah, man. I mean, I kind of missed all that. Say that again for me. I missed all that. Hey, y'all got it. I missed it.
My boy
behind
was
the
fixing
scenes,
the camera, like
behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just saw his framing was off. Had to fix it. But
he had to give me center, right?
yes, sir.
But I wanted to talk about, because I know like how we talk about.
I thought that was a KSP shirt. I almost cried. I'm looking at it from the joke. I said, wait.
It is.
Oh, shit. Hey, fuck what he talking about. Congratulate. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You see my dog with the merch on? Oh, man.
Had
It's
to
a
get it
wrap
started,
for you
man.
niggas.
Bruh, you
It's a
started.
wrap for you. I hope you gave them a shirt yesterday. Threw that bitch on stage.
Bruh, I ain't gonna lie, bruh. I was unprepared. I ain't gonna lie. That was on my part.
Oh, there been plenty of opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely said that. And I'm not blaming nobody, because I know better. So it's certain things that I was just like, nah, and it was just, I was kind of rushing everything. So, but yeah, and it was inspired also. Like you help keep that motivation there too. Like when you saying we got to start doing this and really showing the serious side of things, and like really not getting the serious side, but
the business side.
yeah, getting
it's
serious
business.
about it.
Yeah.
That's what I took more from the event yesterday. PodCon, shout out to Wallow. And I was like, that's what I took more of. I was like, it showed me how much more serious I have to get on with everything, not just the creativity of it, but everything, the business side,
man.
the way it looks, the way I'm putting it out there, everything. Which is why, like I said, in the covers, I started putting more effort into it as well, instead of just the generic, oh, easy, let me just throw our pictures up there, put the title,
A little
cool.
black, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
like
I got you.
just really get everything going.
But yeah, no, man, stuff like that is essential to like this being a full-fledged business, and not like to compare it to some shit like back when it was rap. What are they label? When everybody used to make labels back in the day, and it just was the cool thing to do, but nobody did the business of that label back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like there wasn't label merch, there wasn't a label
Okay, I see what
party,
you're saying,
there
yeah.
wasn't certain shit that just gave it a full business industry feel. Just
Right.
was, yo, we together, so now we a label.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's that aspect of, for me, it kind of was like I was watching a creator and they talked about, yo, why not? I don't care if you start at zero. Why not give somebody a vessel to support you monetary, like financially? Like, dog, a t-shirt, a hat, a book, this.
Yeah.
You can't beat some, just because you don't think you're at that point, somebody's like, no, I fuck with this creator. I like this. I'm buying this. That has nothing to do with nothing else you did. They just gonna do it because it's there. You ain't gotta market to them. It ain't gotta be no crazy business strategy. It's gotta be there for them to do it. And I'm heavy on that type of shit. But go ahead.
And it's funny how this ties into what I wanted to talk about is like not settling for bare minimum. Like let's get out that mindset of settling for bare minimum all the time and like really step up. And if something is not the way you want it to be, make it so that it is what you envision that how you want it to be. Now we understand things don't always come out perfect or exactly maybe how you picture it, but there's still an effort that needs to be given. Like it doesn't have to be 100%, but it can be 98. It can be 99.9. And that's why I said, even though like I felt like the covers were good for the episodes, but it's still like, man, let me just put that creative mind on that as well. Like
take it up a notch.
Yeah.
Just take it up a notch. Let me take it up another like there isn't enough notches.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of figured out when it's like even
when it's
in
your
like
own stuff
creating anything. You can't, there is no ceiling for you. So why ever give yourself a imaginary one? All right, this has to like this and I'm done. Like that's kind of how I feel like how things have looking, changing. Like even me critiquing to change a small thing in the cameras to clear, but I had to go figure. Like I saw somebody say it and it was like, that's true. Now lazy me could have been like, I mean, my shit look cool.
Right.
Better, my shit better than 97 of the podcasts out there. I'm up there with the upper echelon of pods when it comes to look.
Right.
But it was still, yo, do a little bit better. Why not? It might help in the long run. And we already seen returns from that and viewership and retention and things like that. So it's just I mean, for me, it's a great time to be a creator.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great time because it's nothing but vessels to have people support you. And
right now is the best time to just start.
yeah, facts. Like, hey, starting, and as people have started, it's just consistency. Like, shout out Ian Dunlap. Got a repost of the day. I felt like, oh, that's what's up, dog. But I was taking a Jalen Hurts line where he said, "Yo, keep the main thing the main thing." And for me, the main thing now is consistency. Like around all aspects of what we do, trying to stay in motion. Don't get stagnant. Don't get complacent. And don't let life just start passing you by. Stay active. Stay on that journey yourself and control that car. Take the cruise control off. And navigate your life the way you need it to go. Like sometimes we sit so much in that passenger seat of life where it's like things have happened, I'm beat down, I'm tired, and I could just sit here and all right, go to work, pay your bills, and that's it. But that's not it for people like us. To me, like I can't just do that. That's for me. That's worse than like anything to just sit there and get complacent with life to the point to where, hey, this job is cool, so that's all I'm gonna do.
Right.
Like that's wild.
Because I'm definitely and I got this quote from Steve Harvey, ain't
nothing wrong with Steve. Shout out Steve.
But when he definitely said if you believe there's more to your life than what you have, then believe that it is that there is a more to what you want. Like if you feel like you want more, then there is more, and that's how I looked at it. And me and you both said last week how we were similar with how we looked at what 2023 was as far as a creator. And that, okay, now we see we're able to get in front of it and be consistent with it. So what's the next notch to step it up to? And that's why, like I said, see, from the New Year's and like how different the covers are, it's just like when you started bringing up the merch, I say, you know what? Let me just start getting more serious about that as well. It's like everything. So
I'm wearing them down, guys. Next we might get 2 pods a week. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing them down. He just gonna have to give in to you know what I'm saying? Pause. But cut out, haha, editor, nigga. But yeah, man, maybe get 2 pods a week, whatever it may be. Because for me, it's like trying to like even in my own show, you walked and seen it. It's still developing that cohesion, that connection between everybody that is seamless on camera. When you're doing this with people like me and you didn't grow up together, you and Ed did, but it's that seeing shows that have that dynamic and even sometimes don't do it well. It's making sure this dynamic works and progresses. Like it can't just stay in the same. Like, hey, what's up, cuz?
Exactly.
See, ever good like progress everything about the show, even the friendship between the hosts, how you shoot it, how you do it, what you're wearing on it. Like trying to just take things to the next level and see what the audience kind of likes, and what they like you keep, what they don't you get rid of, and but make sure it stays in line with who you are.
Because there's two words that just make me cringe, is stagnant and plateau. Man, like when you watch people become stagnant, and like when you plateau, you're basically stagnant same time. Like so it's the same, it's essentially the same thing.
A level playing field.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but it doesn't go anywhere, so you're doing just enough. That's why I was like, no, it is some things that, just switch it up. Like, just because you've been doing it this way doesn't mean you have to keep doing it that way. You can elevate it, because it did get to a point where it was like, I definitely was like I'm starting to feel stagnant. Like I'm starting to feel like we plateaued and all that. That's why when I said like how many views we did in a day, like we hit that new milestone. That's why I was so hyped about it. I text y'all. I showed my lady it. I said it to my other friend. Everything. I said, like look, like I'm like, man, because it was just a different feel, because it's not like, because we were used to like, getting them type of numbers like as like the weeks go on or something, but like to reach it in a day made it even more like, okay, cool. Then going to this event, being able to network with some people, it still created that, okay, now I got myself out of that plateau feeling, because I'm able to move forward and learn something. But then still, like I said, with you saying certain things, like, I ain't gonna lie, some of the things he is saying is getting to me. Like, he been trying to tell me for like a year, but I've been like, but as things progress, that's why, but that's really what I wanted it to be. I was like, let me just see how further it progress.
Like for me, like I say things, and I know what real change is and real thoughts and what it takes to have somebody's mind and opinion change. So I don't like whenever I say something, somebody's go, all right, I'm gonna change that. Well, you only doing it because I said it. You didn't believe in it. You don't understand it. You didn't do your own research. You didn't figure it out for yourself. You just like, all right, Jay told me to do it, so I'm gonna do it. Which I appreciate authority in some ways, but when I'm working with somebody in a creative field and we're all together, I need the collaboration. All right, you don't like this. All right, what you don't like about it? Let's talk about how we can do it this way then.
Right.
Instead of it being just like I say it, or it's all right, well, you said it, or chalked it, like whatever it could be, I'm still gonna be me. I'm gonna still drill the same teachings and ideas I have in the people, and I hope that over time people are receptive to it, and they can help encourage my ideas and change my mind. Like I'm real in a collaborative space all the time, because that's the only way I think it is to make it. Besides consistency, collaboration is the next thing. Like working with like staying in. Like some people can stay in their room by themselves, yell into this camera for 7 hours a day and do it consistently, and I can take that. But for others, the vibe of getting out there, me and your name feeling around in the space, sitting down with new people is the fun of this. Yeah. Like for me, guest is like one of the best things about podcasting, because you can learn so much about somebody in a short time. Right. And it can change your view on so many things. Like I sat down, it was two couples talking at two different points in their life. One married 15, one married 43. And just the differences in like cultures and like saying like, dog, could you imagine being married with never proposing? Like they've been married 43 years, cousin never proposed.
I mean, I've heard of it, but like,
but that sounds crazy to me. Right. Like, yo, never proposed, and y'all married 43 years. Like we put so much emphasis, and that has to be this moment, the wedding, this, and they like, no, we got a small wedding this here. But the main thing was we were friends. Like this was my dog. I kind of got from speaking about it, and it just felt good to hear that. Then you go to the 15-year couple, and they talk about things like, yo, I prayed for you. And in the literal sense, they don't mean by name you, but in the times when I was praying, asking for God to show me who's for me in these different times, and then in his own way, he brought you back into my life here, and then this progressive relationship to be here. Whole time it was really you, but I didn't see it until God had it ready for me. So like that, it was just great to hear those kind of things, and it allowed me to shoot a little longer. Now I like to shoot for people when if you book a time. I'm JB trying. Hey. 1, 2, all right, I'm out. But it led to me just enjoying it, because I like to take. I can learn anything from anybody, and that's one of my favorite things for me. But a lot of people only value opinions of those with a lot of views, a lot of followers today, or a lot of degrees, and a lot of
chain on
different. Like, but even the intellectual way, 12 degrees, but nigga ain't saying nothing. Like I value people's real life stories and how they feel and how they got there and how they view the spectrum of life, because we all only see this through our own lens. And having to learn and adjust to people's lenses is something that you can take in life and make you better. Like me being able to sit back and go, yo, how does Marcus probably see this way? So anything I'm saying is his reaction in his own way. I can't expect me out of Marcus.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's when I started getting into just to that last point, when I started believing, like knowing that, like, hey, you can't see things, even the way me and you both see things as a creator. And I'm like, and that's when I'm like, yo, like this tech, like all the tech and stuff, I know eventually I'm gonna need you to really show me and teach me a lot of this stuff, like, and how everything works. But like, and to your other point, I'm sorry, yo, and to the other point, like when we were talking about it, that's how I felt with Devoted J. Like when she came up and I knew her prior to the interview, but it's like all these other things. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know that, I didn't know this. So that's why when she comes back on, it's like, okay, now let's talk about that. Like not just the music side. Let's talk
that
about
episode every 15 minutes. Let me make sure the video's still recording, guys. I ain't had no issues since then. That shit hurt my heart.
Yeah,
Shout out Devoted J.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I said like next.
AKA
I told her. Yep. That's why when I told her, I said next time you back in the city, nah, you automatically coming up. I said I don't care what we doing. You you coming to the show. But again, going back to the. We settle a lot for bare minimum. I see women do it a lot, so much in relationships. But I'm just saying, with anything, like we always choose to settle for less. Sometimes, some people are just like they want to be lazy, they don't want to go hard and everything like that. But every step that we have been doing, and that I've been doing it with my own personal brand, I said, man, the one thing that I need to do to get everything going, I felt like, is because I feel like I did everything else, all the behind the scenes stuff and everything, learn the business, everything. But it's like, you got to put yourself out there. You got to be in front of people. You got to talk to people, because like we were saying, we're not saying that can't happen for other people, like where you can't, like you could just do it in the comfortability of your crib. That's what my apologies, what's her first name? The girl that runs the Shade Room, that started the Shade Room. But anyway, I just wanted to pull her name up so I could really say it. But well, she runs the Shade Room. What she was saying on there, she had 500K followers, and the landlord was knocking at the door like, yo, you got to be out in 3 days. Like she was getting evicted. And like when she was saying the story, like she was just like really making a faceless page, and she started to just talk about the news and influences that the world and the news, like the broadcast, aren't talking about. So that's how she got popular. So I'm not saying you can't get big from just being in the four corners of your house, but I don't think that's the case for all of us. And I feel like that with myself. That's why now it's like part of my quarterly goals is each time is like go to a networking event. So that way you can get in front of these people, because you got to start talking. And then, we want different type of guests up here. We don't just want artists. We want educators. We want therapists, etc. We want people that come on, actors, whatever you do. Like if you're
regular motherfucker, you could be a janitor if you got a story to tell and you have some charisma, some energy. That's all I care about.
Yeah, because like you said, like people can learn from. But of course, like we go towards what we feel like we definitely need to gain and what we can gain. Because I definitely want to get an educator, a teacher in here, especially like because the questions I know you gonna have. So I definitely want to get like an educator. I'm waiting for that.
A teacher cry? That's crazy.
Nah, I just because some of the things you say, I'm really looking forward to that, because I'm like, yo, because some of the stuff Jay has to say, I want to hear what a teacher's response to it is, or what questions I know you probably will come up with.
Yeah, I mean, I've had debates with teachers. I mean, it just kind of. I feel like most people come around to my point a lot of times in that too. Also, though, just because of I deal with that situation in school, my overall goal is always going to be you as a parent is better. So just structuring your life in a way to make sure you can teach your kid over anyone else is the better thing. And they usually agree with me on that. Now they may like the structure of a school and this, that, and third, and these set syllabus rules and those things. But when it comes to one-on-one attention, nothing beats it.
Yeah, so that's one of the times like I'm like, I can't wait to have a guest, like just to see how y'all interact, like just those questions, just how what they may respond to, and the questions, because I know the type of questions you may come with. So I'm like, I just want to see that. But all in all, like we keep saying, like we're just really trying to step it forward, and we try to be our own, like we try to give y'all the testimony, especially as we're going through it. Like, so I'm not going to get in front of this camera and tell y'all and give y'all practices that I'm not even practicing, because I'm big on, you got to practice what you preach and not look like a hypocrite. Like, I'm not going to tell you something that I'm not going to do or I'm not doing. So when I tell y'all put yourselves out there, I'm at home in the mirror telling myself this. Like, yo, you got to put yourself out there. You can't just be behind, because especially, like, I'm in a whole different city that I didn't grow up in. So I really have to, like, yo, they don't know me just from, oh, he's from around this way, I know him to be with him.
I see him in high school, different things.
Exactly.
Too.
Like, so now it's really hey, they don't know you, but that's also the plus, because then now you can introduce yourself, and whoever you introduce yourself as, that's who they can know.
No, facts. You get the rare ability to make whoever you want to be, whoever that is.
Yep.
Now, your past and who you might have been to those people can still voice their opinions, but who you are to the people you date and the impact you make on for these next 20 years matters to more than that first 20, because you were still figuring shit out. Now, this is who I am. This is who I want to present as. And it's overall just a great thing in development. Like, developing yourself, honing your skills, and never stopping, like always for me being that student leadership. Like I'm always a learner. Give me knowledge.
But to be a good
but
leader,
I'm a leader.
Student. Yep.
Yeah, facts.
Like, but
I mean, hey, there's some leaders that have that just thing where they stick to their box and they lead in their, like, and I'm talking about probably like most religious leaders. There isn't new things coming into the stratosphere all the time. Some do adapt those, but some have the ability to keep that same tone. It's a preacher that's been preaching the same way for 20 years, and that works great for them. But for me, I want to learn nuances, change, develop, get better, understand different things. Why do I do this over here? Like I couldn't be one organized religion because I'm too curious in knowledge and I understand too much already. Like my brain and my curiosity puts me out of some realms. Like, I can't sit there and be dumb or naive or just blindly believe in certain things. Like, it took me a while to grasp the concept of faith. Like, faith for me, and I got it it's tatted in my arm, like I carved it in there on purpose. Because it took some trials certain trials and tribulations for me to understand what it means to have faith. And growing up in certain ways, having it be something that is around you, but nobody ever fully explains. And when they do, it's something that's like, what? It's unseen. Can't feel it. And you just gotta trust that it's gonna happen. And that's crazy, but in situations where I've had no other chance to just trust that this could work out for me, and it has, that's faith. Like, yo, I'm gonna get out of where I'm out of, and it's gonna help me. And and that has been there, and it took that time, and that's why, like, for me, that tattoo is real. It's a reminder. It's right there on my wrist every time. Like, yo, no matter what, have faith that you're going. Even in this, like, yo, I say and I believe, but I also have faith that we are gonna be on the upper echelons of shit in this field, and that's going to take us into other fields and just be the best at whatever I choose to set my brain to, and untap that hidden potential that sometimes a lot of us forget about.
And I think it comes again when people settle for bare minimum. I never seen nothing different, so so it's not there. Like, so when people look at those type of things.
Man, I wish you watched podcasts. That was such a crazy shot. You shot at somebody, but you don't know it, so it's not a shot.
What? Oh, yeah.
It's a shot you don't know, but it's a crazy shot. You know what I'm saying? The bare and minimum. Shout out to those guys, though. The content has gotten better.
But yeah. So and it's everything. Like, even like how you, like, all the cameras in here. It's like you could have just been like, yo, I'm gonna do this one and just find a way to edit it. But everything has like, you gotta be persistent. You gotta be tenacious. I'm really realizing that's why I was like, no, I do have to take things a little more serious. Like, talk about the podcast more. Like, don't just feel like, oh, you don't want to just throw this or put this in people's faces when they don't care. Nah, sometimes if they like your conversation, that's how I feel now. They like my conversation, they'll like what we talk about. Because if we're talking like this on this level, we could talk about this. But, like, as far as, again, going back to the bare minimum of things, like, nah, because everything still ties in with it. But
and speaking of doing not the bare minimum, hey, shout out DJ Magic back on the ones and twos. Appreciate you back there. stay your ass back there. No more
Hey,
ice.
yo, he said stay there.
Yeah, lock you in the basement.
But
Pause.
But yeah, because I see a lot of it, like even with like in life, not just craft, just in life. That's why I said when we look at certain things, some people be like, just because we never see no one to do it or we're not from it, that means it doesn't really exist. But that's not how I usually did things. I'm like, man, if I can YouTube it and see it real, that's real enough for me to know that I could do it. But as far as like, I'll give y'all an example of like certain things, like this story of like some bare minimum stuff that we think that I've heard, and just settling for less, because it all ties in the same thing with me. But I had two homies. Homie number one calls me, talks about his relationship, more bad than good. So the person I am, when you come to me with that, I'ma say, yo, why don't you just leave? Like what? And he says it's cheaper to keep her. So, and I definitely hear other people say that before too, and just passing. But my initial response, like my response was, don't ever say that to me, because it sounds like you settling for less, and you really don't have to, especially in your situation. You really don't have to. You don't have to do that. And then, so homie number two, his situation is a little more complex. Got kids involved and everything. But he said he kind of felt what homie number one was saying. So he's like, what do you think? What do you think? Because I kind of agree with him, like, because that's where I'm at. But what do you think? I said, man, I understand that your situation is just a little different, but I would never tell you choose misery. I said, especially because I care about you, I would never tell you that. And I feel like that's the problem so much. Like, we're so willing to settle for less with everything. And then, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you settle with something like that, as far as who you choose in a partner, oh, you will settle for less with everything else. Nothing has to go further than what it is in front of you. You don't have, like, you will never feel like you got to get yourself to believe that you deserve more, that you can have more, and that is there for you if you just take the extra effort, if you just look a different direction. But we're so quick to just settle because that's what's there and it's easy. Like, I don't have to do too much with this. But then when y'all realize after all these years, yo, I wasted all these years with this person. I'm like, nah, I would never tell nobody choose to settle or settle with bare minimum effort. Like, you got to go out and get it.
There goes the title. But no, fact. And in that scenario, that's definitely some create. Like, I don't know. I think I'm the different preacher for you in that. Not saying that stay in misery, but in certain scenarios, especially when children are involved, you might gotta find a way to get to certain communicative points to where you can leave in a different. Like, some people rush to run out the door when the first sign of trouble, and lose and forget about the realm of possibilities that you are now opening up your child to in those situations. I'm just speaking on one of them.
No, I still agree. That's why I was like, but when he said he agreed with the it's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah,
that
that line is bullshit. You know how much food costs for multiple people? Fuck out of here. Inflation's high.
But
it
I
ain't
mean,
cheaper
just on a mental level, it's
it
just
ain't.
like
mentally, if you by yourself and you can spend $15 to eat, and for two people it turns out it's 52, nigga, your mental gonna be better because you got $47 in your pocket.
But it's like you're choosing to do this too when your mental is not good, and it's like, yo, then why would you settle for that then? And that's not what we need to do in life with anything. If you at a job that you really don't like, and I know it's generic, everybody hears that, but it's like just find, like, try to work towards the dream job you really want,
or build it.
Go
get it. Go find it on your own. Like for me, I'm heavy. Like, even yesterday, I was in a certain part of the city that I was around as a child, and seeing how corporations have taken a whole community over, and now it's just, you gotta go here to buy this. Before it used to be mom and pop did this, you go over here to do this, you need this, and somebody else got you over here. It was a different community feel, and the fact of having to just conform and confine yourself to what society in whatever country you in decides that this is how you have to live your life.
Right.
This is what you have to consume, and this is where you have to go get it. Like I like to be an outlier on that. Fuck that. Back in the day when everybody had their own thing, if this nigga make t-shirts and that's where the whole community get their t-shirts from, that's fine to me. I don't need the big corporations. Oh, well, guess what? We have this same type tee, but it's a little bit cheaper, but the love ain't in it. The clothes don't feel the same. It don't fit right. It's different when somebody is home crafting what you need. Like I'm big on personal created goods, big on personal creative vibes, and make whatever you want to do, it's physically possible. You might have to sacrifice some time, sacrifice some dollars, sacrifice some space, but you can take some time, and hey, I'm definitely showing from it. You can take nothing to something. But I started off with a PS5.
But
that's how we got here
again. But what what you're saying also is you're putting in the effort. Like, you're not choosing to stay there. Yes, it may not be an easy situation to just get up out of. Like, you can't just get up out of it, especially like when there's certain things involved and y'all got certain things together. Of course, I know that, but that's why I'm like, but still have the effort to do it. Don't just sit around and just choose the easy way, which really isn't easy. It's choosing to stay with anything that you really don't want, and you're choosing to never find happiness, never find peace. Like, nobody wants happiness no more. Nobody wants peace anymore. So basically what I'm saying is never be satisfied with never being satisfied. That's what I'm like. That's basically what I'm saying. Some people we're so quick to just, because 49% of it's good, 51% of it's bad. But because it's almost the same, I'm going to stick with it. No, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to find peace.
Never going to grow.
Exactly.
And that's but again, in these certain scenarios where, especially like to that one, with men in our decisions, we love to take our, like, dog, you might be adding to why this behavior is this way.
Exactly.
Your misery might come from some shit you do internally that you just don't do. Sometimes, nigga, you ain't listening at all. Shorty is complaining. She telling you it. She done told you 17 times about one thing, and then you say, well, I tried, but you haven't tried so much that you never felt again.
Yeah.
Like, some things you gotta try, and once it's successful, you are great. It's over. Like, your new life has been brung in. So you sometimes gotta sit back and listen to whatever is going on. And if it isn't for you, make sure you leave in a different way. Like for me, I was big on, like, younger. I wasn't the one to. I'd be like, I'm gonna deal with Shorty till she gets sick of me, really. And hey, I'm not gonna conform to whatever you want to do, and I'm gonna keep rocking the way it is, and eventually you're gonna find what you really want. And that's how I kept it. And for me, that way was easy because I didn't have to deal with people's emotions. Like, hey, it just was, I'm gonna be me. I told you who I was from the get-go. Like, everybody always say, yo, to come at your honest self. And it can work, but it leaves you in a way where you kind of lose some of those ability to gain and foster those skills of working with different type of emotions, especially in a man and woman situation, or if you're into whatever you're into. But that relationship piece, if you never home it, if you're just dating to fuck around and get another body and move past through, if you don't sit there and pay attention to what you like and dislike, nuances, what you could do better, and when you end somebody, let me try doing this different, see how it affects this relationship. Hey, we may not be the perfect people for each other, but me acting according with you made us best friends for life. We ain't gotta do none of that extra stuff. We just friends, but having you as a friend is a blessing to my life, because now I can call you when some shit go on, and you know me differently than everybody else. You know me in a relationship stance. A lot of times niggas can't call their ex and just be like, dog, hey, I'm going through this situation. I know we had our issues in our time period, but what you think of this? Oh, no, you did wrong. Hey, no, cuz that's crazy. No, hold your ground. Like, it's different things people can tell you to benefit your situations when you make sure you leave things in a non-destroyed state. Like, and get rid of some of those nuances that we kind of picked up from society, from rap, from music, from movies, to where, women are disposable. Because, I mean, there's technically more of them on the planet than us. It is. But it's that what you can learn from each and every one of them is the key to me. Like, some niggas didn't even understand the lessons their parents told them until they was 20 years out of the house. Yeah, you was getting those lessons every day. But 20 years later, you just text, it clicked.
Right. But and what I was saying, definitely it goes past, like, what we're saying goes past a relationship. It's not just a relationship. That's why I said, even with, like, just in life, Like some people, they still will do the same thing. I talked to one of my other homies. I asked them, "What y'all do on New Year's?" Said the same thing. I'm like, "Yo, y'all do that every year since I've been around." And I was like, and I stopped even when I was still around because I said, "Yo, it's the same thing. Like, why don't we? Did y'all ever choose or think to just maybe tweak this a little? Like maybe instead of just
And I'm guessing in those scenarios
like
they don't turn it up to the highest it can be either. Like y'all
exactly,
didn't do this the
exactly,
best way possible. Because
exactly."
sometimes once you do that, you don't want to do it again.
Hmm.
Like sometimes you gotta like, hey, I'm all for a good of a tradition, but the
Yeah,
tradition should take some steps up.
yeah,
It should get
exactly.
better every year. Yo,
Right.
at a point you should be throwing those. Like for me, I want to get to the point to where we throwing those parties to where we seeing certain things. Like what was that? The why did not why did I get married? The best man
Yeah.
last final chapter
Hmm.
John when they got together, it was New Year's, everybody suited and booted
Right.
for
Hmm.
but it's like a house party.
Right.
But it was the house is a little different at that time period of their lives, but it just was we elevated from just hey, we getting together with hoodie t-shirt. No,
Exactly.
throw that suit on. We going into this new year fly as hell.
Right.
We going with a new goal and new things that we want to achieve.
And that's why, like I said, and that goes with just the mindset. Like you become so stagnant and you plateau because you're doing the same thing and you don't know, you don't even try to even think of how to take the step level, like the level up, because that's what I'm saying. And the reason why I changed my words saying the you don't even try to think, because it doesn't take some of the things we're talking about. It doesn't even take much to think about. It's just like, yo, I don't feel like doing that, like, because we did that last year. Why don't we do it like this? Just something as simple as that. That's why I said even certain things like how you said, yeah, we may have had it at like house parties, but this year we're just gonna get a little more flyer. Just something as simple as that. Like you just think of it, but nobody really thinks about that with anything they do so much. It's like all the same generic stuff. And then some people, I really believe, they don't even realize when they're being stagnant or they plateau. Like they feel it, but they don't. Some people don't want to believe it because they still feel like they're this person and that this still works, but it works the same as how it worked years ago. And it's just like, yo, but in an elevating world where things are changing and everything's changing, you can't do that. It's the same way now. It's like if you have a business, it's smart to get a social media presence and marketing, like to get your stuff going. It wasn't like that years ago, but now we're in a different world where it's like, yo, you want to get, like, you see what Keith Lee is doing and how he's doing it for people. Like some people, they're not used to that, but then now in this day and age, that's why I say, like with me, I'm like, yo, I have to get back outside. I can't just do this behind the camera and behind the scenes all the time. Gotta go shake hands, gotta meet people, gotta bring different people up. We gotta do that, gotta connect with different people that I didn't necessarily grow up with and come together to create an idea. I started thinking that even as a creator, where I'm like, yo, I have to figure out, like, I've really been thinking lately, like, yo, what can me and Jay work on together? Like, completely, where it's like me and him can sit down, like, completely. He got this idea, I got this idea. We bring it together, and then it's like, okay, all right, I like that, Jay. All right, let's run with this and let's do this and figure out how we can come together and get some money off it.
Facts.
And like so, because of the mindset we both were in of, how we took 2023 to help. Okay, because we both kind of said the same thing. Like with 2023, it showed us we were able to be consistent, get up, do this, get in front of the camera, not really like think too much anymore about it. We just do it. So now it's like, okay, now that we did that, how can in 2024 to do a little more? And that's what we've been doing. So that's why we've been trying different things and doing a little extra, doing a little more, because it's like, okay, because like I said, that's why I was transparent about that. I said, yo, at a point I started feeling like, especially when we took the little break, I started feeling like, man, I feel like we kind of hit a plateau. Like what is going on? Something got to give, got to do something different, got to create more engagement, got to get the numbers a little higher. Again, that's why when I saw the numbers on that episode, like in the first day, I was like, yo, cool. So now it just boosted the confidence and everything. And then you never know what you might love and what new thing you may find. That's why I brought it up in like a relationship, because sometimes it's like, yo, you're not even looking, you don't even know if you just look to the right. it's something different there that you might really that will really be good for you and that you'll really love. But you continue looking left and just keep looking left that way, that way, that way, and never just choose to listen to somebody, take game, listen to the old head that may be saying like, or really paying attention to what your parents may have said. Like when you
Shit, for
said
some people don't even look at the girl that's been holding them down for forever as they homie that really is the love of your life. You
Right.
just that's just, oh no, that's just my friend. And that's one of the stories I heard yesterday from the 15-year couple. They was like, oh no, we was cool. I was like, no, I was trying. The couple that was together for 43 years said, yo, she used to set him up on dates. Like, yo,
Oh, wow.
yeah, like I set you up on a date to go because you were a nice guy once you find what you wanted. The whole time that was her. Like it was like, yo, but you were so in your lane and what you think this should be that you ignored what was for you sometimes.
Right.
And a lot of times, sometimes you gotta sit back and always peep your surroundings. Always understand, like, yo, what is making you happy? What's making you sad? What's making you go harder? What's making you regress? And cut out certain things, pour more into certain things, and just to able to keep going up a notch in life. Like I never want to stop at the first notch on a roller coaster. Like, get me to the point to where it's about to fall off. I got to keep going. Hey, I'm hoping this roller coaster never stops peaking. And if it ever crashes down the bottom, I hope it's a big upswing coming right after.
Right.
Like it's those type
Good
moments in
analogy.
your life that can propel you to so many different things when you keep focused on better and improving.
Or just even how quickly it can happen. That's what, like I said, like sometimes it's just a matter of just thinking, just think with a little more effort. Just look the other way instead of looking the same way. And then, like you said, it could just take you even further, get you up higher, and then everything. And we know things come with trials, tribulations, setbacks, everything. It's life. But we're just saying, keep putting that effort in. That's why even when I said I was sitting back stressing like we plateaued, and we really didn't, but it just felt like that. So it's like, what can I do to step it up? Because now we have this much content out. We've been doing it for this many months. How can we step it up and change different to get more eyes in, get more of an audience, get more, more business coming, a contract on the table soon, anything. That's why I'm like, nah. I said, yo, that's one of the things I be saying now. One of the things I say now was just like, yo, it don't cost too much more to just. I mean, it doesn't take too much more effort to just think a little harder.
Yeah, no,
Like-
facts. And also, it's a thing said in the journey. Like for me, I always go back to you got to enjoy the journey and not try and get no shortcuts. Yeah, we at a point where you want to grow and get better faster, but you're going to take the steps to not cheat the system. Let me just turn up what I do to another level and make it better. What more can I bring out myself? You're asking the right questions.
Exactly.
But some people be like, all right, well, you need more views to get people to buy you. Here, buy the views, buy the followers. And that's not like those
Right.
shortcuts in life don't really equal to the results you wanted most of
Right.
the time. You may bump into where people know your name and see you because the way it tricks your algorithm, but people not gonna stay and be like, oh, I don't believe 100,000 people watch this. I can't watch 15 minutes of it.
Right. You're absolutely right. That was a good example, because that's what people will do. They'll just take the easy way out and not really take this harder route. Especially because another thing they said yesterday, I forgot who quoted it. Oh, Gilly quoted it. He said it takes more effort when you're doing something positive and you're not scamming people and everything. Like when you're really taking the real route to go and not really having to knock people over or anything, and not scamming nobody. It's a little harder because like you gotta put in the real effort. But so in those cases with people like that on those levels saying that lets me know, hey, you gotta do more. There's no easy way to do this, because you're absolutely right. Because I've seen that with people in music, anything. Oh, you bought followers. Because I'm like, yo, how you got 300,000 followers and you only getting 25 likes? I said you can't you can't get 1,000. You already got the.
And we do know
all
some
these
people,
see it.
the algorithm is hating on you. They don't put your shit out.
Yeah.
But if that's the only repeatedly all the time,
Yeah. And I've seen that. That's why I'm like,
fishy.
That's why I'm like, man. And then you can easily look, because sometimes you can look at the people liking or doing stuff, and it's like, some Asian face with no real name, and then you click on their page, and it's like, I ain't got no posts and I follow 20,000 people, but got like 50 followers. Like you can see
Yeah,
it.
it's not a real tangible person.
Exactly. So it's not really like you said. It may trick the algorithm, but it's still not. Somebody be like, shoot, forget the 15 minutes. They may not be able to watch 3 minutes of you when they see them numbers and they think that. So that's why I'm like, but that's why I would keep saying like we got to get out the bare minimum stage, like, and how we definitely hear a lot of women do it as well, with like especially in relationships. Like they'll be with a man that he has to drive your car. He's like everything. Oh, what? Oh.
I looked before he even said the punchline. That's crazy. That was off camera.
I said everything. Like you paint. You gotta pay for everything for the person, and then like if they sitting around playing video games, sitting on the couch or something all day, like, and then some people
eating
would
your
deal
food,
with that.
smoking your weed,
Like,
drinking your liquor, using your electricity.
Yep.
And girls just be like, but I like them.
Because of the potential, but then they don't like. But then after,
but sometimes it don't be potential because they can't even describe it. Like I'm one, like, no, if you believe in somebody's potential and you help and support their dream, which a lot of women do, it's something that you can't. It's a very clear picture of potential to me. Now, some people lie and this is going. It's a clear sign of when somebody has the potential to do something and they might just need a few extra helping hands.
Yeah.
Different than a motherfucker who's like, oh no, yeah, I can rap a little bit, but shit, I ain't seen the studio and I haven't wrote a rap in. It's those type things to where women, I mean, I heard a bar before it was fire, and now that he's a rapper, he's good, and that's all he is. But he hasn't put the work in to become the thing.
Yeah, and that's what also if you like, he never takes you out. He don't get your nails done or nothing like that. And I'm not saying everybody got their own situation. I'm just saying like, if it was like, because even when I was in my situation early on in certain things, I was like, I could see if I was walking in buying all this stuff for myself and then I don't do like nothing for you. I said, so there's certain things I took back on myself to make sure you are good.
Fact.
So it's like, but I see that a lot. It's the same when I see like some of these people, they're having kids. They're still choosing to have kids and try to start a family, but you gotta live under the other person's roof, not in the relationship. You're living under somebody else's parents' roof or something, and I'm seeing that a lot now, where it's like, yo, that's how you choose to want to raise your kid under another man's roof. I said that's not how it works, but like sometimes, like, people don't. It's like people won't put gas in the car or nothing. Like you just settle. He won't take you out. He won't get you nothing nice. It's just all that type of stuff. Like, and I'm talking about some people, they deal with these type of people for years on end and having kids with them, and then find out after 10 years, oh man, I wasted my life with you. Like, shorty, like, you could have seen that early.
A lot of that is society. Like, society has put women into being second class people sometimes, and sometimes ones who don't have the strong enough background or person pushing them, they'll become, oh no, this is how I'm supposed to have it. Sometimes in life, people, I've literally seen girls who believe that, this is how my life's supposed to be. I'm supposed to have a guy who's going to do this. He gonna take care of this, and and that's his only job and only duty.
I still mean as in like just even things around the house. Like, dude don't clean up. He won't cook,
do nothing.
He won't do nothing.
That's
won't
the
take
woman's
the garbage
job.
out. Like all that stuff. Like I'm like, and then you wondering why like he ain't this. Baby, you been knew that. Like, but you still, and that's just me talking to my young boys. Like, yo, don't be one of them. That's why I always say, go get your money first, and then go do your thing. Like, get to where you're going in life first. Live your dreams. Go follow your dreams first before you do any of that. So that way you can be set, and you don't have to settle in life.
Also, if you partner with a young lady, make sure you value her and you value keeping the main thing, which is each other's being happy in the situation. There is no reason to be miserable in a relationship. There's no reason.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all keeping the focus on happiness, if something's went wrong, fix it immediately. It doesn't have to take a week. Doesn't take a day. I like people that say
people won't communicate either. They really won't.
But even figuring out how to communicate properly, like giving yourself a chance. Like again, me as a guy, sometimes I will not speak my emotions, then one day you might be like, yo, I got to try. I can't never not try. Yo,
Yeah.
this is how I'm feeling. Hey, if
Yeah.
you don't get the reaction, hey, I know I got that reaction. All right, cool. But sometimes you might get a different one. That doesn't mean you were wrong for trying. You still got to
Yeah.
spice things up, change things up
Yeah.
in yourself and in them. One thing for me, happiness is on you as a person to get. And then that person gets it, then y'all together happily can be happy. But they're not responsible to make you happy. If they doing shit
Right.
wrong, go get happy. If
Right.
if they're the reason you're not happy, well, guess what? They gotta go. And it ain't nobody's fault but their own. It's
And then when some people start settling or allowing people to not get like, oh, I don't need to get my hair done or my nails done. It's like, no, go do that. Like, because then the woman will start feeling like that too. Like, oh, I don't got to do this because he says, hey, yo, because he says I don't have to do it. But it's like, no, let her be a woman. But then at the same time, and that's vice versa. Let him be a man. Like he could go do things like don't always hit him with the yo, you don't need a haircut or something like that. Or it's just like it's just everything. Like let's all be the best versions of ourselves.
and continue to grow like
And get
as
the most out of life.
individuals and as a couple. Like yo, whatever y'all was doing in year 1 should be heightened by year 5.
Yeah.
Like build something together. Hey, if y'all both have a dream and a possibility, hey, sometimes you might gotta pour into your lady before she pours back into you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yo, you do nails fire. Let me send you to school for this. Hey, let's looking to getting you a building. Hey, now she up and she like, all right, yo, you want to do this? Hey, you ain't got to do nothing in life but focus on your goal. I got everything else. You help me with that.
All right.
These things is covered. I don't even think about it in the bills paid. So now take your time. Hey, if your goal was you wanted to be a travel vlogger, here's the camera.
Yep.
Here's the plane ticket.
Yeah, and
keep
just,
going.
And like you said, just doing little things like that. Like even if it's not here's the camera, here's the ticket. It could be start off, here's the tripod.
Yeah.
Here's the selfie stick if the people still use that.
Here's
I'm
the
sorry,
phone
but-
upgrade.
Yeah, like
hey, yo, we needed new phones. This
simple thing.
phone's gonna do better
here's,
for you.
Here's the ring light, like something like. But and like I said, this isn't vice versa as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like we're not just bashing on men. I'm just saying like don't because I'm like I'm raising a daughter as well, so that's why I'm like it's just certain things. I'm like no, you don't have to settle for bare minimum, especially if you're still young with no kids and you could get up and go do that. You could get up and move across the country. Even if you got kids, and if y'all in a good relationship, you can still get up and go move across the country. I'm just saying. I'm just saying we don't got to settle for it, but that's why I always say definitely, if you don't got kids, if you ain't married, and you're young, nah, go do all that.
I don't even like
forget
the
all
term
them
settle
excuses.
because you chose this. It
you're
wasn't
choosing to settle.
pushed upon you. Even that settle means all right, this is here and I got to sit and deal with it. No, you chose it. You sat here, said this is who I wanted to be with. You then deliberately stayed with them, did everything, got them pregnant, did this. You didn't settle. This is all active choices. At any moment, you could have chose to switch things up, chose to get better, chose to be a better person in men or women in your relationship, chose to be a better person in your life, chose to get a higher career. But you act like somebody put this thing on you and now I got to settle for it. So
It's absolutely a choice.
to me, that's what I'm saying. Like a settlement is two people coming together and all right, we both agree to these terms. That's cool. That's not what happened. Y'all niggas choose to be bums. You ladies choose to sit in the house and live with them, and just that be it. All you want to do is go out and drink on the weekends and go back to work Monday through Friday.
Right. So that's why, and that's the reason why I say it like it's more of a choice. That's the reason why I had the issue with the cheaper to keeper thing because I never had that mindset.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, when I
That
was
would make
done, I
sense.
was done. But
That only makes sense if you got Will Smith money and divorce is like, oh yeah, she taking $42 billion.
Yeah.
Then that's different. But you niggas who got all you got to your name was a PS5 and a pack of drawers.
hey,
You niggas can't. It ain't cheaper to keep her.
A PS5 and a pack of drawers. Hey yo, but you're right though. But we appreciate y'all for tuning into the King Status Podcast. You have been with me, your host, Mr. Moore the King, along with
Mr. Prolific, aka Jay Duce.
If
I
do say